Hi, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador with KADY TV, with another segment of Good Morning Oxnard. And as you know, we have very interesting, very special people on our program, and we have the good pleasure of actually interviewing Bob Cisco, who is all about golf, and that's the name of his program. God, Bob, it's a pleasure. I mean, I can tell, if you can't tell this man is a golfer by his attire, then you don't know golf then. So, you know, Bob, you have such a fascinating and rich background in golf. Why don't you tell us just about this passion and what you're going to be doing for Oxnard here?
Great, Peter. Thank you for that introduction. Well, basically, I've been with All About Golf, and that was I was co-host of a golf show that originated from Los Angeles. It then went to be a national syndicated show after about 4 or 5 years. And the show was actually very good because it covered various aspects of the community around Los Angeles. And I've always had an interest being up here in Ventura because there's some fabulous golf courses up this way. And I'm a golf educator. I've written several books. I've worked out on tour, all 3 of the PGA tours, PGA Tour, LPGA, Champions Tour. And you gotta like the Champions Tour because they changed the title. It used to be called the Seniors Tour. But I love the fact that they changed it to the Champions Tour because, well, not that the guys are old, it's that each of these guys are champions.
Right.
So they figured, call us champions.
It's better marketing, I'd say.
Yes, but no, I have a long-standing golf career as a teacher, as an educator. I've taught maybe 45,000, 50,000 hours of lessons in golf schools. We had a golf school in the Los Angeles area called All About Golf and Ultimate Golfs. And we had a short game boot camp, which you'd be a good candidate for.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't know. Bob,
we don't want to talk about my golf game.
Bob was telling me you're good out of the trap, though. Is that right?
You know, I'm good out of anything that I have to. So that's a different segment. So, but you are, one thing I wanted to mention is, I want to say in the 1980s, I actually met a gentleman, I had no idea who he was, and it was Corey Pavin, and he was the last name I've heard in Oxnard who was really a celebrity with golf. But now I'm having a chance to meet you, and I call myself an ambassador, but I look at you as an ambassador for golf. Would you not say that?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is a wonderful game, and Corey Pavin actually is someone I've always admired for many years. He won the U.S. Open.
I can remember that shot he's like doing.
Oh yeah, it was a great shot, and he played in many of the Ryder Cups that we won, beating the European teams. He was always very fiery and just had that fire in his belly, and that's why when you had to play him head up, you were in trouble because he was gonna get it done.
Well, the interesting part is Corey's parents used to own Pavin Shoes in downtown Oxnard.
Yeah.
So that's how he got started.
It's amazing because that was Bob Allen, voice of KADY TV. But again, it was like Corey was like, he's an icon for this area, for Oxnard. And golf has so much aspects. You can play this at a very early age. I mean, Bob Allen's grandson was tutored at age, 3? And you talk about how 3 million people entered the sport. What's that stats? And then some people actually transition to heaven. What was the number that you shared with me?
Well, we have 3 million that are taking up the game. Now this goes back when we had in 1998 Tiger Mania. When Tiger Woods came out, the whole golf world was just in an uproar. We had more juniors and women playing golf than ever before. But unfortunately, we have almost the same amount of people or more. They're going out the back door, Peter, because they're frustrated they're trying to learn the game properly. It's not the easiest game, it's the best game on the planet, but it's, you have to learn your basics. Just like any other sport, you have to take some practice and you got to work at it.
And you can do this up to age 100 plus. I mean, I'm a former pole vaulter, but I'm not going to pole vault when I'm, 30, 40. But it's just what I see Oxnard. There's this big, huge gap, an opportunity for golf in Oxnard, Ventura County. We have several golf courses. but I see you as somebody really being a catalyst to get us back to the so-called Corey Pavin days where Oxnard is actually a place to do it. I'm going to paraphrase what Bob Allen described Oxnard. It's freaking really great weather here. And that wasn't his exact words, but you get my gist. But tell us, that's your opportunity here. So.
Well, I think so. And the great thing about golf is that it's a family sport. When I grew up and I was playing, I got to go out with my dad. I remember he was playing the 16th or 17th hole one day, and I would carry his driver. The driver was bigger than me.
Really?
And I don't know what I was doing, but I left it back on the tee, and when we got to the next hole, he went to pull out the driver, and he says, "Where's my driver?" Then he realized that I left it back on the tee. So I was in a little bit of hot water, but golf is juniors and playing with your dad and being out there with your mom. My mom lived here off the River Ridge Country Club of the 10th hole, and I gave her a lesson. We were waiting on Thanksgiving for the turkey to get done, and it was really fun. We had 2 hours on our hands, so we went out and played some of the holes at River Ridge, and she always had trouble trying to get the ball off the ground. I gave her one tip. She started getting the ball off the ground. She says, "You're great." And this is wonderful because I could never get the ball up in the air. That's why she took up tennis. But that's a beautiful thing about golf is that, you're on the course with your son and daughters and taking your grandkids to the range, and what other sport provides that.
It's an exciting activity. I want to call it a sport, but definitely an activity. But tell me, is the fact that when you were doing All About Golf on the radio, what are some of the things you talked about that were attractive, that drew, viewer or listenership? Is that the term?
Yeah.
And what would you would bring to this open territory of opportunity here in Oxnard? You can use the same techniques. How did you change it?
Well, people are interested in various interests. One is golf travel destinations. They like to be able to get out of town on the weekend, go to a resort, play some golf, bring their wife and kids. Everyone has some fun. That's one thing that they're interested in. We covered different things like lifestyle, like clothing, and even cigars were popular. For a few years.
Times, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much to golf. I mean, what shoes, what to wear, what's acceptable, unacceptable, etiquette. Don't stand in somebody's shadows. I mean, there's a lot of rules. So that's probably what did you talk about that a lot in regards to the radio?
We did talk about rules at times, but also there's the aspect of there's different types of games that you can play with golf that have an appeal. Like we see a lot of fundraising events where people go out and they don't have to have a good game. They just have to hit a couple good shots and they contribute to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And they win a trophy, or they just have a great time. That's why fundraising events are so popular, not only here in Ventura, but down in LA County and also in San Diego.
Well, to interject, we understand that and George was in here earlier talking about, the current economy in the city of Oxnard. And the golf course, due to the way it was originally financed, has been a financial drain on the city.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about you possibly doing something that could help attract. Can you share with us your thoughts on the show that you're talking about doing that would be promoting all of Ventura County golf courses, but specifically would be headquartered right out of River Ridge Golf Course?
Absolutely. One thing that I think would be a very good idea is to go out and showcase golf courses, on the specialized TV channel that we're talking about, and get the director of golf and maybe the marketing director, and we go out on the course and talk about a few of the holes, the challenges that these holes give you, right? And let them also create the benefits that they want people to hear about in their particular venue.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's an excellent way that we could capture the essence of that golf course with the people that work there, so that people in Ventura could actually take more advantage of that. They may find out there's something that they don't know about a certain facility,
Mm-hmm.
and they go, "I didn't know that." And then they talk to their friends and their family and their buddies, and before you know it, they want to go play there. So that's the concept we have, is doing some showcasing, going around to some of the different venues and getting those recorded so people can see that. That's one concept. Another would be is to maybe have a special golf school at some of the different golf courses. You know, use some of the best instructors at those facilities with my staff, and we can team up and put on just a great event. Maybe even attract juniors. We can do junior clinics. There's a lot of opportunity to, you know, instructional wise and just creating, letting people know about these facilities up here. They're really wonderful.
There are definitely some facilities here. But go ahead.
Yeah, there are, but aren't we going to try and create that model at River Ridge Golf Course first, so that we can try and attract people coming out from outside of Ventura County as trying to help the city with their golf course? That's one of the major things that, you know, at least should be one of our goals.
Right, absolutely. I think that's probably the more proper sequence. And like, you know, you gave me a tour of River Ridge recently, and you know, I've been there many times in the past, but we got this great location where we can bring in, you know, people from other facilities, and we can capture the essence of what we're trying to do there. You know, and I think also we were up there, you know, when we were at River Ridge, there were a lot of people up there hitting golf balls. And there was a golf team in from out of town, and they chose to practice there. The golf course is in good shape, and it's just a matter of letting people know that River Ridge is really an excellent facility. It's got the good golf range. It's got 2 18-hole golf courses, good restaurant, you know, and all that should be communicated more and more, not only to golfers out there, but locally.
No, I love your attitude, and just one thing I want to interject is you mentioned Tiger Woods. And I thought, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Several times. No, but it's the fact that how much, again, from my point of view, how much he changed the game by him entering the sport, not only in terms of ethnicity, but also I know for a fact Tiger Woods could have got a scholarship on a track team and run a 200 meter and break the school record. I mean, we're talking about athletes now in the program. And so just how the sport is actually evolving, and one of the things during our calisthenics is you have a lot of stories about golf. And so this is a sport that it's just filled with potential memories and humorous stories, like your interaction with your brother and how it can be competitive but not competitive. Sure. So is that something you think you might talk about on the show in terms of how the game is changing and new environments and, you know? Yes,
absolutely, because those are some segments that I've been talking with Bob Allen about, is how we can get, you know, some informative segments like that would talk about maybe bringing in golf physiology experts or exercise coaches, right, and teaching proper stretching.
Exactly.
And that's good at all levels, and you know, juniors need to learn how to warm up properly, and so do seniors when they're out on the golf course.
Right.
We can provide all that. So when we were doing All About Golf, that particular show, we had those type of professional people in, those experts that would talk about expertise in that particular area. So that's a big part of the plan.
No, I'm excited. I was coming up with ideas, and you know, I think you usually do this when you meet somebody and try to get them involved in golf. I will not play a golf game unless it's a scramble, because I know I'll get 1 out of 5 and contribute, but don't let me play where it's competitive. And I think there's a big, huge marketplace for people like me who are a little afraid to do that, but there's a friendly collaborative, what's the term? I hit it again, Molly, or whatever it is.
A mulligan?
Yeah. It's a mulligan. It's a lot of trash
Good.
talk, you know, I'm going to show up to that. But I'm just really excited about your program and what you're going to be doing at the River Ridge course. And, you know, final statements. You want to make a final statement?
Well, I like what you had to say. You know, fundraising golf tournaments is very fun for the community. We're helping, you know, charities. People feel like they can contribute and play around golf. They don't have to hit all the shots, but they can hit a mulligan or hit a key putt, and they feel like they were part of the winning formula.
There you go.
You know, but overall, it's everybody wins in that scenario, and I think River Ridge is set up perfectly for that, and we could drive more business there. We could get more companies and to come here and support the community and those charities. So I think you're on the right track.
No, and I gotta say thank you. I mentioned that I met Corey Pavin. I didn't know who he was, but I know who you are. So just take this and be the new spirit of Corey Pavin in the area, Oxnard at River Ridge. So with that, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador. I also have the ambassador of golf here. Until next time, thank you.